Hey everybody, I'm Jay, and this is the 2016 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. I'm really excited to show you this today. It is one of my favorite SUVs out there, and I'm just going to basically unbox this thing for you. I'm going to make it so for that you know everything about this vehicle before you even sit in it yourself. I'm going to talk about its engine, its transmission, its design inside and out, the seats, infotainment system, its off-road capabilities, its safety and fuel economy, and what is its competition, and above all, is this the proper off-road SUV for you? Oh, but first, I want to thank Norbiton Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram in San Jose, California for letting me come on down and film today. And, as I was saying, the Jeep Wrangler, it's really special for me. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, originally, and of course, Toledo, Ohio is where the Jeep Wrangler has been built for many, many years. It actually started way back in World War II, and it's continued to this day. It's a part of Toledo tradition. Now, this Wrangler Rubicon here, this is the Hard Rock Edition. It is the top of the line, and what you are looking at, it is the Wrangler of my choice. I would definitely go for the four-door model. You can also, of course, get it in two-door, but I think the four-door, it just makes it just so much of a more complete SUV. There's more space, there's just more everything, and I just love it. Now, looking at the design, what I just love about the Wrangler is it's timeless. They have these combined with these big 17-inch wheels you see here, and it's just sort of boxy appearance. It just hasn't changed much over the decades, at least from the outside. And when we look at the interior, you'll see how much more of a modern day vehicle it is. But I don't think Jeep could ever really alter its looks. I know they're redesigning it. A new Wrangler is coming out in just a couple of years. But one of the tricks to this car is to keeping the tradition alive. And you look at the front grille there with the round headlights, and it just, there is nothing else quite like this. Now, if you're going to buy a Wrangler, you're going to want to go off-roading. I think it would be an absolute shame to leave this, solely on pavement. It's designed and built to go off-roading. Now, you're going to get some really cool standard features to doing that. There's a part-time four-wheel drive system, a rear stabilizer bar, a transfer case skid plate, heavy-duty front and rear axle, and rock rails, and of course, fog lamps too, because that's a part of off-roading, going in no matter what the weather is. Now, some other optional equipment you can get, of course, you can get what Jeep considers their Jeep Trail Rated kit. As I mentioned, 17-inch wheels. That's really good if you want a little bit of extra clearance and just, better rock crawling capabilities. There's also a trailer tow package. In this case, this particular Wrangler Rubicon Unlimited can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is really, really good. It also has a Class 2 receiver hitch and hill descent control, which is really good as you're kind of, you're coming down a hill and, you want to maintain a proper speed without, losing control or anything like that. Now, looking at this interior, as I was saying, it's much more modern looking than the exterior, and I think that's a good thing, because it wasn't all that many years ago where the interiors of these Wranglers, they're very, very Spartan, and they just needed to upgrade them. And that's exactly what they've done, but they haven't, gone too far. It's still very basic, especially when you compare it to just about anything else on sale today. Whether that be an SUV, crossover, or a car, or even a truck, the Wrangler has its own unique look inside. But one of the things I like about the dash design here is that it's very straightforward. It's not at all complicated. It does have a 6.5-inch display screen. It's actually Fiat Chrysler's Uconnect voice control system, which I've mentioned in a previous review of the Fiat 500e, which is a very different car than this. How much I'm a fan of Uconnect. I think it's one of the best infotainment systems out there. Oh, but first I want to start up the engine. Stay right there and take a listen. Okay, you just heard the 3.6 liter V6 engine. It has a total of 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. For my car here, it is paired up with a 5-speed automatic transmission. The standard gearbox is a 6-speed manual. Should you get the 6-speed or the 5-speed automatic? Look, it just depends what your personal preference is. The 5-speed automatic, it shifts fairly well. I think there are better automatic transmissions out there. For the Wrangler here, it's just fine, but I know rolling your own gears is not for everybody. Now, as you can imagine, with something like the Jeep Wrangler here, and especially when it's even heavier with the extra couple of doors, what's the fuel economy like? Well, it's going to get 16 miles per gallon in the city, 20 miles per gallon on the highway, and an 18 mile per gallon average, which, it's not that great. Let's just admit it. But again, this is a vehicle that's, designed for going off-road. So you don't care what the fuel does in that case. It just has to run. And as I was mentioning, this is what they consider they call it the Hard Rock Edition. Now, this is also a top of the line Wrangler Unlimited. I think it's really well equipped for what it is, but it does it's still not all that luxurious. There is a leather wrapped steering wheel and some leather trim on the seats, but it's not what you would consider a luxury SUV by any means. Just looking at the dash here, these great, just 3 knobs. It's for the climate control. It's not entirely all in the infotainment screen at all, and I really like that. And it's just a very functional look inside and out. And I think that's a key word there, functional, because that's what a Wrangler has always been and always should be. You should also note that unlike other more modern day cars, the Wrangler, it is still considered a safe vehicle. It has ABS brakes, traction and stability control, front airbags, but you should also note that the side airbags are optional, which is something I really do recommend. However, there is no rear view camera. It's just not offered in a Wrangler, and nor are there any parking or other sort of like safety aids kind of like that, which I wouldn't even get if they offer them. I don't think they belong on a Wrangler. I think a Wrangler is, as I was saying, it's just a special machine, and it's meant to do things that other vehicles cannot do, and it's going to have to do it in style. But you still also get some really cool stuff inside. You have there's this 9-speaker Alpine sound system with an all-weather subwoofer, which is really cool. And there's also the standard soft top. Now, this one here, this Wrangler, it comes with what the Jeep calls the Freedom top body. It's a colored 3-piece unit. It's the same color as the exterior, which is in this case a granite crystal metallic. And the Freedom top kit includes like a panel storage bag, and there's also a rear window and defroster and wiper, which is really, I think it's great. I love the hard top look. It gives it that real sort of like military type look to it. It's special, it's unique, and it's just an all-American SUV. And speaking of which, This vehicle is getting very, very popular overseas, especially in Europe and even in China. Jeep basically, they can't build enough of these Wranglers to satisfy demand. Word has it they're actually going to build a Jeep factory in China just to accommodate overseas markets. They will not, however, ever close the Toledo plant. I've been promised that by several Jeep officials, so that's very good news. So what is the competition for a Jeep Wrangler? That's a very good question. The simple answer is there's really not much, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're going to have your typical other SUVs, but what's kind of ironic is that Fiat Chrysler already built some of the best SUVs out there. And I'm talking about the Jeep Grand Cherokee and, of course, the Dodge Durango. But those are still very different than the Wrangler. You know, their tops don't come off like in this one. They don't have that classic, traditional look. It's, very different. The ride in the Wrangler is also pretty bumpy, as opposed to those other SUVs. They're much, much smoother overall. Now, if you also want to look at the competition in terms of other automakers, there's also the Chevy Tahoe, which I hope to review soon. That is also an excellent large SUV, but like I said, it is pretty large. It's significant in size, especially when compared to this Wrangler. But I thought the storage here was very good. The seats, the rear seats fold 60/40, and with all my camera equipment here, there was a lot of room. This is with the 4-door. It's great for just about everything. You can get all your camping gear in. So many things you can do with it. And like I said, this color combination with a granite crystal metallic exterior with a black interior, this is perfect for me. What you're looking at is what I would buy. And speaking of which, how much does it cost? Well, a standard Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon starts at $36,995. But this one here came to a grand total of $48,110. That's right, almost $50,000 for a 4-door Jeep Wrangler. Do I think it's worth it? Yes, absolutely. It is this really special machine. It does everything so well for its intent of purpose. It does it. I'm not happy seeing all these other SUVs become really luxurious. I think the Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon just balances everything out perfectly. And Jeep's slogan for this is "Go anywhere, do anything." And that is 100% spot on. You're going to buy a Wrangler because you like to go rock crawling. And that's what you should be doing. So, everybody, I want to thank you for watching today. I didn't even get to everything. I only had about 13 minutes here. If you have any more questions, please leave them for me in the comments, and I'll get to all of them. And until next time, I'll see you then.